Hello and welcome to the I'll Buy the Popcorn podcast. I'm Alessandra.
And I'm Emily.
And are we seeing triple? No, we're just watching Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what we're talking about today. Spoilers. Yes, spoilers, for sure. Oh my god. This movie. I don't even know where to start.
It was epic. This movie was absolutely epic. I was really excited about it. I spent, a whole week with it being out and managed to not get any spoilers for it. So I was really happy with that. So, of course, I did have an inkling that obviously the other two Spider-Men were going to be in it. But we didn't have any confirmation about it. So it was pretty great. But there's just so much story in here that I just really loved. It was great acting, really fun. I think the better of the three movies. What do you think?
For sure. I mean, the Spider-Man Homecoming was really good. Also, sorry for no Spider-Man song at the beginning of this.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot.
I thought about it last minute. Like, we didn't make a song for this.
Oh, no.
I don't think there needed to be another song. Us and our mediocre musical skills. No, I think it's totally fine that this didn't have one of our very own All by the Popcorn parody songs in front of it. So sorry if you were looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I mean, Homecoming was, I remember us really enjoying that movie. I remember really enjoying it. It was really good. The Far From Home was like, okay, I didn't really like it. Ever since Tom Holland became Spider-Man, I've been more excited about Spider-Man, and now that we've gotten more Miles Morales stuff as well, and like Disney doing a really good, not Disney, but like Sony doing the really good Into the Spider-Verse movies, like, since the Spider-Man movies have been getting better, I've been getting more excited, because to me, Spider-Man was never one of my favorite Marvel heroes, but he's definitely in my top 5 now, I think. Mm-hmm. For sure. I think number 1 for me is always going to be Iron Man. But I thought this movie was probably the best of the 3. Like, I was so excited. There were so many, I don't know, it just made me so happy. Like, just so many things happened that made me, laugh and scream and squeal, and I just made all the noises that it's a good movie when you're just making those, in the theater.
I know. Yeah, lots of yelps from my audience as well. Very full audience, even though I saw it on a Monday or Tuesday. I saw it on a Tuesday morning, and it was still very full. So this movie's doing excellent at the box office, obviously. Highest grossing film of 2021. It really was so anticipated as well, because of all of this, knowing that there was going to be more to it. All the villains from the other franchises. We've got Tobey Maguire's franchise and Andrew Garfield's franchise just kind of melding into this new movie. While it's still really feeling like a really big growth period for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. And it just really was his film, the culmination of everything that he has been going through, being in the Avengers and now in this third of his own movie. So it was just really special, I think.
Yeah, I was really glad that, the everything going on in this movie didn't outshine Tom Holland, because again, he is our current main Spider-Man. But it did kind of give me a nostalgic love and kind of a newfound respect for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. It makes me want to go back and rewatch his movies, because I think he probably really did a good job as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I just, again, I don't know, the Tobey Maguire movies never really they impressed me, obviously, because they were superhero films, but I mean, I was really more into the Avengers at the time. To me, Spider-Man was so far removed from the Avengers that, I didn't really care at the time. And I don't even know when, like, Iron Man didn't come out.
Came out in 2008.
Yeah, and when was, like, the final Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie released?
2005 or 6, maybe? Let me see. I can check it out for you.
Because that makes sense. Because, yeah, I didn't really care about Marvel movies until Iron Man came out, the first Iron Man. So, like, of course I'd seen the Spider-Man movies. I just don't really remember caring all that much.
2007. I do remember seeing Spider-Man 3 in theaters. I remember it being long awaited, and I remember it making a lot of money. And I also remember thinking that it wasn't as good, the third one, as the first two. Or just like the kind of end of it wasn't as satisfying. And same thing with like Andrew Garfield as well, that the end of his wasn't super satisfying because Gwen dies and then it's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
And so we've really got this closure with these two Spider-Mans in this. It really is incredible how much closure we had that we didn't know that we needed with their stories, and even the bad guys in those stories, like getting kind of redemption and getting redeemed as bad guys and being turned into good guys in the end, kind of. It really was like kind of convenient that the people who came over could be cured in that way too.
Yeah, oh my gosh, like Dr. Octavius and Willem Dafoe, like they were so good. Like, everyone was so good. And like and I really liked this like different idea of Spider-Man. Like yes, we have Spider-Man, good versus evil, whatever. They've gone crazy. They have no redeeming qualities. They can't go back to the way they were. But like with Tom Holland's like Spider-Man, he's like, we can save them. Like we can make them good again. And like I loved that storyline. Like it just
it was different.
It was different, and I loved like how much happened in this movie. Like it didn't feel long. Like it runs at 2.5 hours, which is very long for movies in general. And I think it's up there with maybe some of the longer Marvel movies. But it didn't feel long, and it all felt necessary. Like nothing felt like it didn't need to be in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were like some more cheesy, like campy scenes, like with the three Spider-Men once they're all together. But it was
every moment of that.
But they were amazing. They were amazing scenes, and they're completely necessary. Like they were
they gave them the time to have together. Like they didn't rush them. It was really well
to form
done
that
they
bond.
They had that kind of time to bond, starting even off when they met Peter on the roof and just talking about losing someone that they loved. It was like really emotional from the start, and then they go into the lab and they have the whole lab and just comparing their different types of powers and people that they fought, and the instant brotherhood that they felt, and even saying like he felt like they were brothers. It was just like they had known each other for like half a day. And it was like already so good chemistry and stuff, and they, it's the actors, and they know what they're doing, and the actors probably kind of just, had riffing off each other a lot, and that was, you could really see that as 3 generations of Spider-Man and 3 ages as well of these men, it really was, it was very impressive, and something that I didn't expect it to take those downbeats, to take those moments that we had in this movie. It was just, so satisfying. I have to watch it again.
I know. I want to see it again so bad. I think I'll just wait for it to get onto Disney Plus. But yeah. Oh man, oh my gosh, it just, all the fanfare. I know. You and I were briefly. We didn't talk about the movie beforehand, but Alessandra briefly brought up in the first 5 minutes. We got to see Charlie Cox playing Matt Murdock from Daredevil.
And he catches something too, like something gets thrown in like a brick.
Yes. And
Oh
he's
my
just,
god.
I'm just a, I want, okay, I want, there's like merch going around that say like, I'm a really good lawyer. Like, I really want that merch so bad. It's like a shirt or like a sweater. Oh my gosh, I want it so bad.
Charlie
But
Cox
yes,
just
when
I'm
I saw
so
him,
excited.
I very, very audibly like squealed and then grabbed my sister's leg because she was just the closest thing to me that I could like just squeal. And I was like, oh, this would have been really fun to see with Alessandra because like we would have both just been like slapping each other. And just
I
like,
was shaking and grabbing Danny's arm like I was like like I honestly I mean we share a love for the Netflix Marvel shows like I don't think anybody else like we watched every single one of them
a love and a hate.
I mean for sure
Very strong emotions. We have very strong emotions.
Yeah,
towards...
and I just feel very connected to them because we talked about every single series and we just watched them all and like not a lot of people have watched them all because they weren't so canon, but I strongly encourage everybody to watch the 3 seasons of Daredevil. They're so good, and just seeing Charlie Cox, oh god, I just
it's such a
so
solid
exciting.
show. I remember season 2 feeling a little weird, like not really liking season 2, but season 3 just being like, and I think it was because season 2 had to do with the oh my gosh, what was their name? What was it? Didn't have to do with Luke Cage and them. Like it had to do more with that storyline.
I think so. Yeah, and Jessica
the,
Jones and stuff.
Yeah,
the Defenders.
Defenders.
That's what they're. Yeah, but
is that what they were called?
Yeah,
I could not remember for the life of me.
Not the best. Like we chatted about all of those, so
we did.
Go listen to the several podcasts.
But seasons 1 and 3, you could watch them back to back. Honestly, like just watch really seasons good. 1 and 3. Like just skip season 2. Skip season 2. Watch 1 and 3. So seeing him was super amazing, and I'm so I think that was like I was really excited to see all the Spider-Mans come out too.
Yeah,
and I was really excited to just see Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin again because he was so fucking good. Oh my god, he was so good.
Willem Dafoe was like a main character in this too, and it was
so good.
Him, I mean, obviously they're gonna let him be that character again because he was so good as Green Goblin and also just like didn't get enough screen time and now they like have this like kind of arc for him as well and just how frightening he was and it's perfect. He is just such a good actor. He's so charismatic and I love him really. I mean it's just fantastic. I think we're like obviously gonna love Willem Dafoe more because of all of the movies he's been in recently and just like how much we just keep praising him for his performances all the time.
we love Willem Dafoe in this household.
Yes, we do.
We do.
So let's talk about the fact that Spider-Man makes major choices and mistakes in here, including Benedict Cumberbatch's character as Doctor Strange, who is in my background if you're watching on YouTube.
Yes.
He makes this very strange choice of helping out Peter without ironing out the details of a spell, and eventually brings all the people who know Peter Parker into the universe, being many bad guys, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess very quick summary of the movie. So the movie starts kind of right when Far From Home ends. Mysterio had just released that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and everyone now the city of New York is like at odds with like, is Spider-Man a murderer because he killed Mysterio, or is he like still like, is he still good? Like, do people still like him? So there's just like this whole crazy like civil war almost happening like about this because people are on like team Spider-Man or team not Spider-Man, and it's also like their senior year and they're applying for colleges and stuff, and because MJ and Ned are both tied to Spider-Man in some way, they are having some issues getting accepted into colleges. So because of Peter, he feels bad and he wants to try and make things easier for his friends. So he doesn't really know where else to turn, and the beginning of the movie is really good because we know that Peter Parker's really young in this. Tom Holland plays like probably the youngest Spider-Man.
17.
17, and he's very quick to act. He doesn't really think things through because he's still so young, and he's just trying to figure things out. And honestly, like after what happens in this movie and what's already happened in his previous movies, I don't know how Peter Parker is, like, this Peter Parker is still Spider-Man. Like, like, I feel like he would have given it up, like, so long ago. Like, I know that he enjoys being in the Avengers and he loves all the friends he's made, like, with the Avenger family and stuff, but this really, like, fucks him over all the time. And he says that, too. He says, like, this is so hard. It's so hard being Spider-Man. Like, why do I do this? Like, he questions it this whole time. And I'm just like, why are you still Spider-Man? Like,
it's the same, like, but that's the thing, like, he has to discover, that's what he talks about the other two, kind of figuring out that it's hard to be Spider-Man and it's hard to be Peter Parker. You have to pick one. You either are Peter Parker or you're Spider-Man. And in the end, he chooses Spider-Man because that's how he saves everyone. And, that's like obviously with great power comes great responsibility story kind of comes along with. And even in this movie, it's that's the theme of the movie. He decides to pick the fact that he can save people and save other lives, and he just has to be kind of off the grid, and he can't really have friends and family because he is a superhero. So that's what he's chosen in the end. But it is, like, sad that Aunt May is the one who has to die, which, it makes sense because all the other two Spider-Men have had great losses in their lives and had to figure that out with the mistake that they made. And it ended up the Uncle Ben dying, or Gwen dying.
And it's such a strong, like, character, like, point in the Spider-Man story that, like, his relative that's really close to him has to die. Like, so, I mean, like, I definitely saw it coming, but I still thought that they did the scene where she dies very well. Like, she gets hurt, but she kind of gets up and she's like, I'm fine, we're fine. But then she's not fine. She's not fine,
no. Yeah. And she got hit by that thing. And
and got stabbed, punctured. And so she's down, and then she ultimately just goes, and Tom Holland is...
Oh my God.
He is such a good crier.
No,
I was ready for it. I almost cried for Aunt May. I almost cried. I was on the verge of... I was on the cusp of tears, like, 3 times in this. I never shed a tear, but I was on the cusp of tears, like, 3 times.
Tom Holland is he's such a good actor.
He's so good.
And you know what? So are the other two, Toby and Andrew. So obviously, it's unreal how well, like, how good they are at being this character and just feeling them. Like, and I also felt that with Andrew. I think a little bit more seeing him in this role because obviously we do have a love for Andrew as well. And just that moment when he saved MJ from falling and caught her instead of, like, doing the, whipping her up and killing her, like he did with Gwen. And it really was, like, such a cathartic moment for him to just kind of start crying when he was holding MJ. I'm like, oh my God, like,
yeah.
Oh God.
It was like almost emotional. The closure, like, that he needed, like, just to know that he could save an MJ, like.
Well, yeah, because Gwen died.
Because Gwen dies.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Oh man. Oh, I know that scene gutted me. Like, I was like,
yeah, it really was.
Because when Tom when Tom missed, and I was like, oh, MJ. I was like, not again. And then when Andrew picked, I was like, oh my God, I love that. That was, like, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Like,
yeah.
Like,
it really
oh my
was.
Gosh.
There were so many good scenes like that. So many, like, wonderful little scenes, and obviously it's the strength of the actors, even the villains, because we get to spend a lot of time with the villains too. So, we get that him catching them whole thing, which is like half the movie, which is fun too.
So ultimately, it was a Tom Holland's Peter Parker's decision to make because Doctor Strange was making it sound like in order to fix the multiverse or fix the universe, because all of the tears that were happening, like that's why Peter had to make everyone forget him, or did he just ask because that part kind of confused me at the end. Like he was just like,
yeah. So what happened was
it's not working.
Doctor Strange was containing it,
yeah,
and within a certain space, and it was ripping up the universe basically. Mm-hmm. And so he needed to just let it go so that it didn't rip up the universe and that it made everybody forget about Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think. Or maybe he just was like, I think the spell, maybe he asked him to make a new spell to just have everybody forget about Peter Parker. That everybody who knew Peter Parker, it was a new spell so that it made it so all the people that were trying to come in who knew Peter Parker would go away because no one would know Peter Parker, even the other universes that were trying to come in. So,
okay.
I think that was kind of what was going on. I mean, it was a little bit vague, but
it
was a choice.
Was a little vague, and it was, but like I'm not mad at it. Although I really did want Tom to try to reconnect with MJ and Ned afterwards.
Oh, I know, didn't. But he's letting them go a little bit. He's letting them have some MIT experience before he drops the ball on them again. He does have 3 more movies that he is contracted for, Tom Holland. So I think that means he could be possibly in some future other movies. But this is kind of like a good ending for him. Like it kind of like closed up a lot of things. And even though him and MJ don't have a happily ever after right now, it doesn't mean that they can't. It's just, I mean, I do not enjoy the memory loss kind of plot lines of things. I usually am very much anti that because I think it's such a cop-out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this time I think it's okay because it's kind of like they had a relationship and but it wasn't like something that I was really connected to, like of course I want them to be happy. But I wasn't like they weren't together for a long time, so it wasn't like I was really like, these two should be together. Like I feel about maybe Zendaya and Tom Holland. I'm a little bit more invested in that relationship than I am between Peter Parker and MJ.
True. Yeah,
so,
true.
You know what I mean? Like, Zendaya and Tom are like, they're the couple. Like, less so than MJ and Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel.
I can see that. Let's talk about Ned being able to have Doctor Strange powers. Being able to make those portals. That was so cool.
He said something about his family being in, like, Grandma said something about it being in our line, that we could do something like that, being magicians or something. That's what he said. And also, did you notice in his grandmother's house there was, like, the knives in like a ring? It was kind of like a plate, like a plaque that had a bunch of knives on it.
Maybe
something with that.
Something like that. Okay, something regarding that.
Yeah, something maybe with some other something. I don't know.
Something with some other something. All right.
I don't know anything about Marvel, guys. I'm sorry. I not read any comic books. I truly am a real novice.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'll ever. I mean, I've started reading, and I don't know if I'm going to get into the comic book stuff because I mean I'm already into manga, and that's getting real expensive. But I don't know. We'll see.
Comic books are expensive.
I have wanted to read like a comic book series. I just don't know what it would be. So if anyone has any suggestions, like please let me know. I thought about getting like the new Doctor Strange. I'm
sorry.
Sorry, my watch is talking to me. Please don't.
Is it Benedict Cumberbatch?
Benedict? No.
Is it Benny?
No, it's Friday. It's my girl Friday.
Oh yeah. The Stark tech was very limited in this, which I thought was good because it didn't overshadow it. It wasn't too much. In the last movie, there was a lot more. And it was really not so great. So
I mean, he still had like all of his different suits, like the nanotech, and then he had the black like stealth suit. Like he still had those different things, but he still kind of kept going back to his first suit that he made or something. Like he kept going back to it. I like his shiny
Stark one?
Shiny Stark spider one. Yeah, the one that he used to go into space, I think. The one that he gets doesn't he get a new one at the very end or something? And it's like it's very like metallic blue, and I don't know if I'm here for it.
He made it himself because that's the traditional Spider-Man, to make his own costume with his own sewing machine and living in a really, really inexpensive apartment in Manhattan.
Probably still expensive, but as cheap as he could get.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like a studio, so I would say that's something. I mean, depending on where he was living in a high rise. Looked like it was maybe not Midtown, but Upper East Side. It could have been pretty cheap. Maybe like $2,000 a month or less than that. I mean, $1,500 a month maybe, depending. It was pretty small, so
very small, but that's still very expensive.
And pretty dingy. So maybe like $1,500 a month. That's what I'm just gonna guess. Maybe the rent prices went down in New York City after all those incidents.
Maybe.
Can you imagine how it was like when everybody came back, when the population doubled again? And there's like, where do we all live now? Where do we go?
They tried to cover that and Falcon and Winter Soldier. they kind of didn't.
And then they kind of dropped the ball on that. So
and then they kind of just did it.
Them putting the giant shield on the Statue of Liberty
was
so gosh. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I was so like,
funny.
That is like
so funny.
Honestly, something that they would totally do because they were just like so invested in Captain America. Like the United States was like, Captain America is our hero.
Yeah,
like straight up.
That's America's ass.
That's America's ass right there. And then obviously it falling into the water was hilarious and just so crazy. It's like, it doesn't belong up there. Steve would not like that up there.
No, Steve would absolutely hate it. I also really liked we got some more growth with Tom Holland's Peter Parker when, after May dies, he gets really angry and he just wants to kill. When he's never been like he wants revenge, which like, I don't know if he's because like he never actually killed Mysterio, and no. I don't think he ever kills anyone like in his previous movies either.
Maybe like just Thanos's guys in the end.
Yeah, Thanos's like minions and stuff.
Yeah, but like nothing. I don't think that he is a killer, and the other two have killed. So they have like a little bit, like I enjoyed that they stopped him from killing, like even though Toby got stabbed, he's like, it's okay, I've been stabbed.
He's like, it's okay, I've been stabbed before.
But he stopped the goblin, like he stopped him from killing the goblin, and like he's like, no, don't, and it was like, don't like make the same mistakes that we made, which is kind of acting on revenge, and then the two of them having to live with that pain. Now it's kind of like he doesn't have to live with that pain anymore. It was good. It was so... It's just like...
It was really
the
good.
fact that this was like combination of all of the Spider-Mans that we've gotten, like the 5 that came before it, it was just really remarkable that it ended up being actually made. Like, something like this is just so difficult to pull off, and it's the same kind of thing with Infinity War, that was a very impressive movie because it combined everything that came before it. So it's got that aspect, and it's got, there's also like Charlie Cox is in it, and then there's also like all these other characters, like,
yeah, and apparently Multiverse of Madness is gonna be like even crazier. So like I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like, I love seeing Benny in this. I loved the fact that we got a little bit more of that kind of magic, and that was the same thing with Shang-Chi too, having Wong in it. It's good. I mean, it's just fun. It's
I also love Wong's status, so that he could just pop up in other people's movies because he's just because Steven never took up the mantle as the Supreme Sorcerer Supreme because he was gone for 5 years. So Wong had to take over, and I just love Wong in this like administrative, like managerial, like almost like he's bureaucratic role. Like he's just handling shit. He's handling all the time shit, and he's just like a grumpy government worker. Like that's how he feels.
He's like
to me.
The new Nick Fury because he's kind of the one who's combining all of the forces that be.
Yeah.
Now, and like he knows something's up. I also, of course, enjoyed Jon Favreau in it. He's fun in the fact that he was breaking up with May. Him
and May were breaking up because they just weren't, like, he's so in love with her, and she's just like, this is not working out, dude.
I did like some of the camera work in this was a little bit better. Who's the director? John Watts. I thought that, the beginning was pretty good because we got that, it started off really quickly with, obviously it's really cute having MJ just kind of hop around with Peter, flying around, she jumps on him. It's really cute. But then we have like that shot of when they come into the apartment, and it's kind of like a one shot, and they're going around the apartment as all of these, helicopters are outside, and it's like a one shot thing. A handheld camera too, which kind of made it feel a lot more intimate and like close.
Yeah.
But that was only in that one scene, and then they also had more of like the spider tingle shots where we have a shot like where Spider-Man is central and kind of like looking above and like feeling the tingle, kind of zooming in a little bit on his face.
Yeah, and things kind of getting muffled and blurry, like kind of in the background. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, and they had several of them. They even had it with the other Spider-Man as well. So that was like really cool because we really didn't like see this spider tingle visualized so much. So that I thought was like a good choice to make.
I think in the previous movies they would just make a choice to kind of pause things, and then Tom Holland would just be like, my spider tingle, and then he'd like look, and then he'd like look over or something like. But yeah, no, this was very focused, and it was very good.
Yeah, there's just a few things that technically that I noticed. And they also played some of the music from the other Spider-Man too. Yeah.
Character-wise, Stephen Strange's character did seem a little, like, out of character for, like, helping Spider-Man do this. And I remember me and my roommate discussing this when the trailer first came out. Like Stephen would never do this. He's such a hard ass. Like he'd never put the timeline in jeopardy like this. But it's just
yeah.
And I don't know if that has to do with Multiverse of Madness. So we did, if we kind of want to touch on the end credit scenes. I don't know. There's some theories that I've already heard about. That maybe this isn't actually Stephen Strange. I'm pointing at Alessandra's picture of like it's actually like his his evil half or something,
Oh, yeah.
his like chaotic
That
half or
makes
something.
a lot more sense.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we basically got to, and I think I saw it. I think I saw the trailer at the end of my Spider-Man movie, like the day before they released the trailer or something, or the day of. So yes, one of the end credit scenes was just a trailer for Multiverse of Madness, which looks very fun.
It does. Wanda's in it. So.
Yes, Wanda. So that's great. And then the one before that was with Venom.
Venom, yes.
What's his character's name?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
I know it. I know his name.
I know his character's name. I don't.
Do I have to look it up?
I have to look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Now I'm sure Venom will be fine in the Multiverse of Madness if that's ultimately where he's going. Eddie. I knew there was a B. I was like.
I know. I was like, "Buh."
I was like, brr.
Something.
I was like, ah.
Buh something. Yes, Eddie Brock. Yeah, he had a pretty long end credit scene too. Like he's chatting with the guy from Ted Lasso in Mexico, and I guess he had been brought into
Danny
the
Rojas.
Universe. Danny Rojas. Football's
Danny
life.
Rojas. So I think Venom will still remember Peter Parker, because I guess he didn't get touched with the forgetting Peter Parker thing.
Oh,
or
he
no,
did.
Or he just said, I need to find Spider-Man.
He just went back into his own universe, and then he left the bit of goo that is the symbiote of Venom, like there in Mexico on the bar. He went back into his own universe. Remember, he kind of.
Oh, he
didn't pay his tab, and he went back into his own universe.
So someone else will become Venom?
I think that Venom is now
this universe's Venom?
In the Tom Holland universe, yes. Because he left a little bit of the symbiote.
Is Seth Green gonna make a... Right, wasn't he the Venom in Spider-Man 3?
I think he was. And then... Yeah, we got Eddie.
No, No, it was not Seth Green. It was the guy that played that guy in that 70s show.
Oh yeah,
Eric.
Yeah, it's
what's his name?
Oh, it's
Topher Grace. No,
Topher Grace. It's
so
similar to Toby. Yes, it is.
Is that his name?
It was Topher. Yes, Topher Grace.
I just threw that name out of my face.
You really got it. Emily, you did so good. You did so good. I'm so proud of you. Honestly, I can't think right now. Probably because I just had this one glass of wine. But
that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah. That was good.
But no, I jest. I'm pretty sure he will not be Venom.
Who knows?
Seth Green was in a Spider-Man movie, right?
Let's see. We're doing all this stuff here, guys. Okay. I gotta go back pretty far here, because I don't think he was in the ones with Andrew.
No. I thought he was in the one with Tobey Maguire.
I am looking. I don't see it yet.
He might not be. I might be thinking.
I don't know. You might be thinking of Topher Grace.
I might just be thinking of Topher Grace.
Yeah, because, they kind of have the same vibe. Let's be honest. It's a vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a vibe. Yeah. I don't see it.
I know we mostly talked about Green Goblin and, very slightly about, Doc Ock, but, do we want to talk about Sandman or,
yeah,
what's Jamie Foxx's villain's name? Electro or something?
Electro. Yeah, we've got Thomas Hayden Church.
And then, And
Yeah,
then the
Electro.
human gator, I don't know, what, human lizard.
Yeah, played by Reese Fonz, I think. Great cast. I mean, obviously, they're going to be played by the people who played them before, which is honestly amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad they were able to. I'm glad they were able to get everyone. Like that was so good.
Great.
And again, I'm not super. What is it? Knowledgeable of Jamie Foxx's villain, because I don't think I ever saw the second Spider-Man.
I watched
with Andrew Garfield.
I skimmed it. You know what I did? I skimmed it because it has Dane DeHaan in it, and he became the Green Goblin in it.
Yes, he did.
But he wasn't in this because they already had a Green Goblin. I asked Danny, I was like, they could have had it, and he was like, they didn't want to do two. Two Green Goblins.
I'm pretty sure Dane DeHaan was a backup if they couldn't get Willem.
I know, it was a different universe. They didn't want to. But also they had J. Jonah Jameson back at J.K. Simmons, who was in the Tobey Maguire one. Mm-hmm. And then I think he also does like the voice of J. Jonah Jameson in like the animated versions as well.
Probably.
I think also in Into the Spider-Verse, which is just fantastic. The fact that they it's the same character because he's got such an awesome voice. You know?
I love J.K. Simmons so much. Like, he's so good.
He is a really fun guy. Yeah, but the other guys, I mean, like I said, it's great that they brought it back. I mean, they had their redemptions, like, but I do want to reiterate, like, the fact that these are the characters that can be redeemed, that there's something wrong with them, like, that can be fixed, like with a serum. You know, it's like, how convenient that is the case. You know, and Peter's just kind of stupid and just is like, all of you can hang out in Happy's house together instead of me making this up individually with like the machine and then bringing it to them and then only doing it one at a time, which would have been safer.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I'm going to, like, him and Ned and MJ were like, this is a good idea. And then also May, who's like, everybody deserves to be saved, which, sure, but she was murdered, so I don't know.
There could have definitely been a better way of handling this.
Yes.
I mean,
it didn't go that way.
No.
So it can be explained by the fact that he's 17, like you said. So
yeah, 17, and the fact that the Green Goblin is very good at hiding his Green Goblinness.
Right.
Which was cool that Peter could sense that with his tingle. Which I love that he calls it a tingle.
The tingle, yes.
Every time he said the tingle, I was laughing so hard. Oh my gosh, this person in my theater had like the best laugh. Like there was this very loud, just like like laugh. And I was like, oh my gosh, this person's having a good time.
When Tobey Maguire came in, the person on the other side yelped and everybody laughed. Like they just like yelped so loudly and it was so funny. Because, I mean, seeing Andrew was really special, but then you're like, are we going to get Toby? And we did. And it was like, oh my God. And then they were like fighting each other. And just, like,
there was these really cute bumper stickers that I saw where it was like, it was the 3 different Spider-Men. And Toby's Spider-Man was my favorite youth pastor. And then I think Tom Holland's was my favorite band member, and that is it was like those jokes that they gave each other, like you look like a like a cool youth pastor, and then I can't remember what they called Andrew Garfield,
hipster
like
or something,
probably hipster or something. But ever since I watched this movie and my roommate sent me a bunch of Spider-Man related TikToks.
Oh my God.
My For You page on TikTok is just now covered in Andrew Garfield interviews, and I'm not mad at it.
Same. I actually have noticed that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, like I've been seeing more. And obviously the way that Andrew talked about Emma, like, did you see that one? Where I think Casey sent it to you? Where it was like Andrew was talking about Emma and Emma was like talking, like he was like about Emma Stone, just like he was like, she's like a ray of sunshine. Like when she walks into the room, it's like just the sun is shining on your face or something. And I was like, oh my God, this guy loved her so much.
He's so pure.
He's just so pure, and he loved her so, so much. It was just like so incredibly cute. And obviously there's this like article that's going around right now that's like the casting director told Tom Holland and Zendaya not to fall in love, and they did. And it was like
and they did.
Well, the thing is, like, Toby dated Kirsten, I think, and then also Andrew dated Emma, and now Zendaya's dating Tom, and it's
had to be.
I mean, I don't know what it is about Spider-Man, but he's just sexy. They just really just go well together. So
they all love so much.
They really do, and like, what are you gonna tell? Like, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? Like, even though Tom and Emma dated and they broke up, they were together for a while, and you could see the love in their eyes. Like, even after they broke up, I remember both of them were nominated for Oscars in the same year, and it like showed them on the screen, and both of them had like tears in their eyes. Like, they were just like so excited for each other, even though they were broken up. It was so cute. That's the pure love right there. You know, that's the love for who you are as a person. It's pretty adorable. I'm like tearing up just think about it. So cute.
Andrew's such a cutie.
I know.
They're all so good. I love this movie so much.
The kiss at the end was really good too, because it was just so pure, and you know, you could really see it was just Zendaya and Tom macking out up there.
Just being cute and macking out.
Just being cute. Like those really risque photos of them making out in the car. I don't know if you saw that, but
I don't know if I saw that. I think I did.
They're like they're very like personal. They're very intimate, and they felt very violated by that, obviously,
for sure, because paparazzi suck.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. I would not want that to happen to me.
No, thank you.
No, that's why we're not famous, obviously. That's the choice that we've made.
Yeah,
in our lives.
So some theories I heard about Spider-Man is that since Nick Fury might be off planet, that he'll still remember Peter Parker, possibly.
Okay.
If he were to come and what's her name? Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, possibly. That's true. Okay. Cool.
So I don't know.
Sounds
good. I'm very excited. Me. I'm very excited. I'm really liking how. Well, what phase is this? Phase 6.
Yeah.
Phase 5.
I don't know. Phase 6. Oh, also, there's a photo right here on IMDb of Doctor Strange pushing Spider-Man out of his body, and then Spider-Man kind of like having the ability to still use his body. And that was kind of interesting, because maybe it's kind of his soul is in touch with his body so well that he will be able to like make people remember that way. I don't know. Something like that.
Oh, like just, being able to remember them somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see, I guess.
We'll have to see. Oh, yeah, let's take a look at these plot keywords. Willem. He was so good.
So good. Love him.
Okay, so for plot keywords, we've got multiverse, superhero, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man character, villain. There you go. And 296 more. If those first 5 didn't do it for you.
One of the top reviews on here is from Consequence. So that's pretty cool.
Oh.
I'm just giving in one day. Maybe my brother will write a review of a movie.
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned that on this podcast before. Have you?
I don't think so. My brother is a writer for Consequence, so go check that out. He writes for movies sorry, not movies. He writes for music reviews and music lists, and he goes to shows and he watches tons of shows and stuff. So go check out consequence.net because they write all about this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll read the 83 that they have on Metacritic. We have a 71 Metascore. It's in the green. Pretty good. 48 positive, 10 mixed, and 0 negative.
Hey.
Which is honestly pretty impressive.
That's
pretty
very
impressive.
good.
Yeah. I'll read the little consequence one. Oh, I lost it.
Lost it.
Where'd you go? Oh, here we go. 83. Separated from the most exciting / controversial / unexpected moments in play, and without the element of surprise, does No Way Home hold up as a story well told? The answer is yes, to a degree, but it could have gone further. I guess.
Sure. I'm going to read the lowest review, obviously, because I have to, but yes. I will say it with a very mean face because I don't agree with it. Okay. It's not just the action and the magic that flop. Even the film's more intimate moments fall flat. And that was from Vulture. They gave it a 40.
Wow, that is unexpected from Vulture.
And I do not agree. I mean, yes, this movie had fan service, but sometimes you just need to put in some fan service. You know what? It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna read one of these 100s. The BBC one. There's 3 100s, which is pretty good. It says, the film's real superpowers are its endearing performances and a screenplay by Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers that interweaves teen angst, soap opera, and cosmic calamity with all the goofy logic and tonal nimbleness that make this superhero comic so appealing.
There you go. And I'm gonna read this 50 just because I don't completely disagree with it.
Okay.
And I don't think we've ever read one from here. Little White Lies. That's the name of this publication.
Okay.
Gave it a 50. And Hannah writes, No Way Home feels like the greatest hits package specifically designed to hit every fan service button. Which is true. It doesn't give us any indication of where the story is going or why we should care. I mean, I know why I should care. But that's because I love Marvel and I'm biased. But like if you think about the story, like I mean, if anything, it was maybe just character development for Tom Holland's Peter Parker,
and closure for the other two.
So I mean,
yeah,
yes, does that really push us like in a huge direction towards the multiverse? A little bit, because now we finally had a movie that actually like, you know,
explored that.
Yeah, other than Into the Spider-Verse, obviously. But this is our first, like, live-action movie to kind of introduce the multiverse, which is ultimately where we're heading. Mm-hmm. So...
yeah.
But kind of where we're... I know that's where we're heading, but, like, where's the story heading? Like, is there another Thanos? Is there something?
Do we need to? I just don't see like
do we need
why
it?
a movie needs that. Like, does it even need that? It
and that's the thing. Like Marvel's so hush hush about where the story's going. Like we're never gonna know we're not gonna know until we get there. Like we're not gonna know what's happening until we get there, and that's the point.
I just
that's
don't
what
think
Marvel
that
does.
a movie needs to have anything like that. Like, why does it need to have where it's going? It doesn't. It ended the story really well.
It's it.
I'm going to read this Atlantic one. That's just a 55. It's honestly amazing. Okay, it says, okay. Spider-Man No Way Home unfolds as though it were written by a room full of children who had just eaten a whole bag of sugar. It's a hectic series of plot twists and deus machinas that overturns an entire bucket of action figures and smashes them all together with delight. This film might be a new nadir of cinema, but it's also an undeniably watchable good time. Oh, that's great.
That was funny. That was good.
I know. That's a super cute review right there. And it's like a 55 blurb, but that blurb was, I loved it.
I mean, yeah, they weren't saying ultimately very good things about the film, but But they said it was a watchable good time. There you go.
It really is. It really is fun.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this one. Do I think it's Marvel's best film yet? No. I don't. But is it in my list of favorite movies? I think so.
I think
it is. For sure.
It's not even the best Spider-Man movie. The best Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's the best one.
if we are very generally talking about Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie. But in terms of best live action Spider-Man movies, it'd probably be a tie between this one and
the first one
and Homecoming. Yeah.
No, I meant the first one.
Very first one with Tobey Maguire.
It's so good. That one's really good.
I need to rewatch those.
Yeah,
they're good. I've seen them enough to where I remember but I haven't.
It had the experience of no one had ever done Spider-Man live action like that, so it had the flying and everything, and that was a special time. It was very special. It
was a special time for
for
Spider-Man for Spider-Man lovers.
Yeah, just it was
a very good time.
It was a blockbuster, So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, we should rewatch that and talk about it.
We should. Yeah.
I think that is all we have to say about Spider-Man No Way Home. Cannot wait to see what Marvel has in store for us next. We will be talking about Hawkeye, the show, once Alessandra watches it.
I've watched 2 episodes.
Yes, I have already finished it, so we will talk about that soonish. But I think the next Marvel movie technically is Morbius, which is Sony.
That's right.
Still.
Yes, Sony.
But I think that's the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So excited for that one. I guess I don't know. I'm a little uncertain, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is now. I will obviously go see it, but because I have no choice. But yeah, that is it for Spider-Man No Way Home. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher. We are also on Amazon Music and Spotify. And if you need notifications on future episodes that we release, please follow our social media. We have Twitter, @ByThePopcorn, Instagram, @AllByThePopcorn Podcast, Facebook, just search All By The Popcorn Podcast and like our page. If you want to email us, give me some comic book recommendations. I would love it. You can email us at allbythepopcornpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel and like this video. If you are not following our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. And we also have a TikTok account. So just search All By The Popcorn Podcast and look for our logo. And we also have some merch, so please check that out. But thank you for listening. And we'll talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.